Part 17. Looking them up. A lot of salesmen lose sales because they move too hard too soon. They start pushing a pain in the guy's face before they know anything about him and what he wants. So they predicate him away no matter how big he really wants to buy, and a lot of salesmen start to case without having a clear sense of their own want. I told you about the bag of groceries and how I put an image of that bag I placed in the customer face. I really did that. I worked because I did gave me to be better and I to fight harder for that sale. The reason was simple. I know what I wanted, and I always know what I want when I come up against a customer. We all want so many things about the should never be problem a define to own when to every sale. Sometimes it's all I want that sales become. I will put me ahead of yesterday. I know myself and I know how much the competition that comes to me. I am not fishing against somebody else's record because I'm so far ahead of everybody else than I waiting to beat Girard. When you close the door and confirm that customer alone, it's like to you are struggling with the president of the opening table. But you are not getting to start cutting until you are not sure what you have to do. What do you want to this is gale breaker his at distance, and when you start you close your heart better be sure that you have done while intelligence job. When you know what the customer wants and that you give the him when you know then you are ready to go. Assuming to the guy don't come it's because his wife they leave him the house to be nothing else to do. I figure I have got to leave every time somebody walks into my office and I close the door, moving him along the past the shocking point. We're talking models now, so you liked that four-door Imperial. I tell her not ask him. He may still to be trying to release on, but I assume he wants to buy. But it's just getting a little more scared because the door is closed. Maybe it's that's a time when I offer him a drink or a cigar. What color was it you wanted? I may say, it's may mentions a color. I assume we went past the point of no return. Maybe it's a question of the color comes early when somebody is buying a slur. I need a blue suit, a man stay, but the beginning he says he needs a color, not a red mildew. So when he went get the point where he took the color, I am pleasing him whether he knows it or not. A 10 on this time. He was on a minute, please, and I am not at the door to check a inventory list. At least that's when the things, and then I am back. We just happen to have on. I tell him, and they are pulling in that you. I have got the order written up already because I have been doing as the going along. Just okay. That's I say, pushing the pen into his hand. I don't say some hair. That's too formal. Just okay. That's I maybe he don't, and that can be ahead of the end. But we all know that it generally does not go that easily, and I would not push pen in the customer too soon. But its a tall color has been asked specific optional equipment and have been founded in the color in the shock that's have been events. I have to get to the next step. The next step is to bake on the put in the on gates both same side. They tell you the training sessions, the lookup, the steps, the asking the order, but me, the asking the of the money. I got up the almost turns into back to the customer and very strained out. I half turn, put on the head, and say, give me 100, I will give them the get ready for you. I don't state to say, well, I need this deposit, that's good because I just put on the aids. I went to put us why into the middle of the next planting. I have asked for 100 for someone has to come up with a reason why we don't know ahead. Maybe he pulls on his wallet and say, all I give just is 73 and do it know what I said then. Sure, you do not, I tell him, 73 is fine. Now he says that's the needs some walking around many. So I slide and for 60 or even 50, but not much less because it's a calm house fair. We both want him to buy a car. And if he puts down at least 50, maybe even a little less some things he's going to buy. But what he looks in a pocket in his only 27 in cash. I'll take a sec, I assure him, but I went 200 or more. It's a going to delay and the later on me. Now and not people are happy at the right or sick because that's a figure that can stop payment on this if they change or their mind. How to make sure you get paid for your time. Think about it for a minute. I have spent maybe an hour or more with somebody who has come in the asked for me, tells me he wants to buy a car, and I relieve him. So when he writes to say to hold that car, I assume he serious about it, which means he wants to have the money. I not the joke. I am not in because business, the fun, the it. I love my profession, so when I get to him sick, I execute myself in a minute. So go to the door and start the process of hammering the check. I check it many that I assume that he wants me to have. I am going get as fast as I can. On thing he cannot on his getting his car he needs. If the conversation he offered the travel the vacation plans, I know that is living a trap in the 2 days. You will have a car near what the vents there in the holy area. When he needs, it's have said it's the dons have to out the shake another dealer in the community or country role. I since have been encouraged engagement I have always delivered him pretty much when he wents. I assume that he is serious about his needs, so I'm always willing to be get on the limb, have a carry ready when I say I will. After all, we are in the business to buying and selling, so when I get money and a customer gets the car, some things I can't fix when it went. That's a very rare, but it's happened. So I still assume that's how we wanted to most of the car, not a certain kind of the radio on the pixel transitions. I cannot believe that the customer gets to point evening our clock in the signing of the order because he wants roof cover. I assume he wants the automobile. That's a well get and he the get good value whatever he price in the pays. If you think the most of my selling is so less to do the color trim and then in price, you correct. A detail a commentary the things make the ways still different from what my competitor could be not from the customer. Tell me when to do with the mate of the first the customer the like so trust me. We have tell about the more different whether users seem relaxed to trust me but if you a customer was hurt his money he knows a lot about what he will cover the cost. He has told to his friends and he has probably told the other car salesman. So when he has say me expects to get the lower price than anybody else, because he quieted him, and I have the belief I that made my competitors' prices, and lot of the time my statistics prove this. After all, I keep the saying I am selling more cars to trucks everybody else. I must often the meeting bring the prices. People must from because they like from trust, but this is because they know that's a get fair shake from me. I have explained before that there's a very bold price range among the all different cars and can meet the customer needs. Every salesman know a lot about them, but I believe that I understand this better than anybody else does because I spend a lot of time studying the part of the job. I know the different options could spend with the factory, and I know just about everything that can install a car after I have checked in the shop. That allows me to more price flexibility than just about anybody else that car selling businesses. Because I know not only all the different ways a car can be liquidated, but it's also known about the cost selling prices of the options. There are many kinds of optional features that makes a car are more appealing without adding the most the cost. I call state not price, so I can throw a for nothing a very little extra lots of features I can make my deal all by impossible to beat. Does that mean I can ever be beaten? Certainly not. There are a lot of other smart and aggressive salesmen in this every other businesses. But if they are not selling 1500 or even 1000 cars a year, I have to relieve they are not quite as good as I am. Besides, if you give somebody a price that takes my price to another dealer, I may lose the sales because the MD, the other salesmen I work with, they are mostly friends of mine. But those at other dealership are something jealous of my will sell a car to save that they lose money just so that I can't say bait Joe Garrett. That means, as I am sure you understand, that we are all the game for more than money. But when somebody sells too cheap just to beat me, he is in for the wrong reasons. When I say more than money, I mean money plus other reasons. But the name of this game of money is unless the money is there, will it be coming in later. I would not sell a car to save just to beat the competition. I have already explained why it's not something good business to lose money on the deal in order to get customer to talk me up. If he is important through when I decide the range of prices and options, people say that I must give the confusing it is. If a customer triggers it keep track of all the elements of the total selling price, he is never going to make it because he never can know what all those elements cost of dealer or the salesman. For insurance, it's a dealer sells if any of the cars during a model year, he becomes established the replace the factory and the cars. And that is sold during the year depending on how many he buys from a factory. A customer can never know about that he know really know the cost of the car. Salesforce he cannot know what the right selling price should be. Kissing me after the sales of what counts. What it all counts down is on word trust. If a customer trusts me, he will buy from me. But I have to be sure that his trust least buoyant the moment when he gets her car and pays for it. I have to be sure that he trusts me after he has driven the car home and to work and showed it and talked about it everybody he knows, including how much he paid me for it. I have certain factors working for me to build a trust for the thing, as I kept saying, if I selling more than anybody else, it must be because I have no to quite low price for me cars I sell. For another thing, people like to bring about how cheaply they buy cars from. They always cut a few dollars of the price actually price when they start to talk about it. Besides that, I try to make a friend out of the every customer, whether I sell him or not. So the buyer always has feeling that in anything goes wrong with the car, not only General Motors and the Mercedes Calvert, but Joe Garrett stand behind the sale. When we get to the point the negotiating the price, the car, we are pretty close of the end. But now here the car all the way. The difference is the biggest enough the pretty mouse close the door of the cell. I have said that I tried to get enough cash for a qualified check to keep the customer from walking away after he's made a deal. I mean that if you have to tell only 10 to 25 that sell in the changer no matter what the customer signs. Because if he tells the Joe Garrett deal somewhere else, some hot air salesman who wants to prove he is faster gun than I am may undercut my price enough so that the customer is willing to lose his small deposit. I will never know for sure the customer is sold until he is the product and you have all the money. You know my attitude about the words, even though I believe that I am not the best or most aggressive salesman in the business. I don't like to tell the customer away only the pretty sold. This means that the customer is going a friend of the purchase somewhere is then through us. I don't want him to get out door without leaving a big deposit or taking the car with him. Give him the product to close him. That's right. If for any reasons to time to our paperwork is going and leave me without the whole deal bring competent he's leaving a lot of his money. I'll try to let him to take care he's going to buy. It's called sport delivery and it means what it says. I'm going to find the car he wants or on almost the same and leave him to take it home as through. It where is on. That may sure pretty risky to you, but in many experience it has proved to be an effective way to stop a customer from looking elsewhere. And you know relieve me when I say it works or financially for me for my dealer. I am sure you can see the value of spot delivery. The customer has the car he takes at home. It's his even though the final details of financing and registrations have a lot of been completed. It's his car, he shows his to wife and his kids and his neighbors, his friends and his bureau team. His co-workers, his boss, his grocer. Everybody says him in the new car, then look the other side of it. I have given him to text that it has taken the car away for the put miles on it. He may have to wait 2 or 3 days before the deal is finally closed. Does he think I have given him to use of the brand, brand new car just because I love him? Does he really believe he is under the on Rigadan. To me, he is putting 100 or 150 miles on the curve. If that is not his yet. Most important, does he think that is a free shop to better deal somewhere else and now he's either driving a car that is not really his yet. He does not. The question of ownership may be a little confusing to him. If he thinks he already owns the car, then I have made the sale. But if he merely thinks on the brink and the upgrade to return in his original condition, he is correct, and I have not quite seen the sale yet. But what I really likely to do once I have put him into the car, not go driving around the countryside looking to save another 50 because when he takes the car out, he signs a paper that granted that will return in the original condition it in transmission. For any reason does not to throw, this is not what a lawyer would call in the iron called at correct, but it's a strong model buoyant and any reasonably doesn't human bring. At least the he's always work that way with the my customer. I don't know what the law is where you operate, and I would certainly check it before I started sport delivery among these liars. But frankly, if you can do it, I can don't know the better way than down is salespeople that might be otherwise be just looking. Long after the shoot is made, there's some mites you the were in this clothing businesses, and I will to bring to the tailor him to his smart making cake makes and the shapes while the customer is still looking it in the mirrors and seeking the color in the delight. When you buy insurance, the agent almost always sport the delivery to covers with a binder, which is a sport trimmed policy that you get when you put up just a few bucks cover the full premium. In the away, you could cover even though they haven't checked out what you told them in the application and either don't even know you think the good. What's the mess going and is lost and you said it. It's some more because I stopped the guy in top search in the better price. He does not listen to salesman Spanish at the office who tells him, "You paid too much. I could have gave it you wholesale, but I get much more than that. I give the customer of the office is refused to. He can handily break out his lair because it seems the trusting him with more than anybody else. When I reach back at a person in the office, I say, give me 100 and I will ready for you. Sometimes that guy is saying he does not have any cash him or would not even throw the bank till per day. If he says the car has been good and job and sounds responsible, I will look him in the eye and say, you don't need any money, you were good enough for me. Now, how do you think a customer feels when I say that a customer who is still a little uneasy does not quite mate is? That's right, I dissolve all his instant and I will give God him. Or he tells me that sir does not think the credit unknown is all okay. His loan till the Friday and I was yesterday that would give him to 2 days the sharks. Well maybe the loan officer, the credit union on the my dogs his is. I am sure you can get well started faster, but even I don't know him but a customer looks good. I went or put him into his car right away. And now Supposing is a customer start with a list of a separation that I cannot mask exactly from shock. A lot of salesmen will say, "Don't worry, I'll get what you want. I'll special order in the from at the factory, not me. I'll get a car in shock, and that's a close of and what you think he wants. I'm going to do everything in the world, including sport delivery, to get him to buy that car. Special orders take weeks, usually longer than, and you tell the customer he started getting stay the printed date presents and is somewhere else buying a car some other salesman. I would not even risk that I can help it. There are a lot of other cars that will serve his purpose just as well. Whatever he asks for, I have got. I am not going to solve him physically into something and he hates, and then look him in the butt of the car in the hand. For he is a well and for me is a what 20 or the come. Now, suppose that I let the customer out of the break and where they have purchased at the spot delivery car. As looks I says I wanted to gay and not powder blue. I tell him how great it looks, and how it is true latest style, and how it will take a week not get the car, not the different states from expect. That's small detail. Meanwhile, it's holding this case in his hand. Maybe I am also pretending to course the office staff into making his max. Now the guy stamp for his and say nothing doing. I went to what I went. Maybe you should get problem, but it's not like if the wedding dress. It's inside the most of the time, and it breaks the none of the clothes on the efficient pants and his skirts bad colors. If you are not in the car business, you may think, now that's a dirty trick. I did not always understand selling. In fact, when I first studied, I was rather native. But after the selling over 12,000 cars and I tricks, I understand that business a little better. Let's suppose that customer wants a silver mort carbo with the operators. Now I relieve it's the shock of the word Graduate wants, not it blue. So I order on from the factory. That means it may be Mary Wells before he starts delivering. In the meantime, a friend tells him he should have bought a Ford Frogs. He is going, he looks at on. Maybe he decides to buy that instant of my Metro Carlo. He might decide to tell the vacation they have our on the other cars so he will get married the trip. Besides his daughter announced he is getting married and he has decided his needs money for the wedding. I have said hate them to tell their mother-in-law is moving in the way the team and they need the money to finish of this essay. And this car will have to wait until the next year. Believe me, I have had every possible reasons for constraining the car that is on order. Let me explain another fact the selling car when a customer decides to buy a new car. The first and most important factor is to ensure that's the main style options that Spain factors in the price. It's a good price. Can I afford it? And it's a third that an important factor in the color. Some may know exactly what color they want. Other may think that's a want certain color. Often a person will come is thinking he would like it white car. But when he says brown, the car decides he would rather have it brown, and in the case the customer who wanted silver made car loan. If I hate the light blue on the color the red, the others the customer would have been just happy with that on. Because it was there, he would have known the other and he will take it home with him that very day. What the customer buys a car a good price. The color has no bring the other fellow to receiving his money. My advice is any salesman is deliver your goods into the hands of the customer soon as possible after he has made the decision to buy. I will make the both mouths happier. Remember, before I put somebody in the car who no money in my hand, I know a lot of him and will still giving has taking a lot of it been asking a later. I know where he works and for how long, where he live and maybe how much of this car is. I would not pay the new car into the hands of a guy who looks the same sounds is like different. What about the Carmen? You asked, but you have not forgotten the customer has not come still for the car for me. He's required and I'm trying to break down and this requirement and is giving what he really wants in the right way he take me mind for him. Nobody is going to outfigure the max that is look the record. I have never been asked for a spot delivery. Think again about the effort of spot delivery. Listen of what a customer says or what I put into the car. You may ever did give the car without the getting and I okay from the bank. What I tell to him, the world is good enough for me. I want him, of course, just believe it takes off. I casually ask him for the name of insurance company that covers his cars. Because his insurance the out of two and I did not forget that he have the car out of the lots and that's worth something too. I would not do spot delivery unless I was sure that I was sound risk in the good investment. If anything happens of the car, he knows it's not his that is responsible. But I am no lawyer, so I check out how it works in your area. Spot delivery works for lots of salesmen. If you sell anything other than cars, spot delivery may work for you even better than it is not for me. I also run into the fellow in the served spot sold TV stairs and he worked spot delivery very effectively. Seats called him to risk him to come fix your said. What's wrong with it? He asked. The guy says the picture is getting dim, you can handy see it. He asks how old it makes the sun and he says is right on the offer the like bring TV and the finally can case while other owns the store. You can figure out how it works from there. Chances are the customer sets and old TV worth 20 SG today and it's maybe needs an 80 USD picture tube. In this place, the TV man is put maybe a thousand flat screen TV. Now it takes a couple of weeks to fix. Others set to family the green of the learner and all you can beats not getting them the learner. Who wants to break up blood on old TV his friend's skin now the friend is about to live full skin with somebody. Who lives at the train his satellite sprite when it gets there. Is it doing the credit check during the first phone call and when it gets up the house? When the old set is ready, so is the installment pictures the agreement that's in the customer trade on the TV. That full screen to maybe is only 40 a month. Queen this that family is going to let delay turn down that other it takes break on the old set. I do it and this TV man does. You can do it with Tracy and anything but shared dinner. The first taxi I ever wanted a what I sold maybe mean I wanted to rent on from. He pulled a brand new car out the show stand, making up with tells. I kept saying that I only wanted to rent for the wedding, and he told me not to worry because he needed to put another new on the size in the rental shop. He must have heard me to figure out the good because they made it feel very good to know I was running a brand new. It's filling out pretty perfectly just for the price and the rental. When I picked it up after the hour, it started on the again. Make sure it was the right pull into the shirt and the component. The while it bit is looked great. So guess is the what happened. He starts the with how many kids do I have now how many other kids in the family. And before you know it, is approved the menu wondering in the next few years. I couldn't possibly afford the rent this simply and I could not buy this but has skills up and I looked at the fit. They say the salesman can be sold easier than most people and maybe that's true, but in the student written the guy shocked it may happen. This is true. And even if it had not worked, just figure out what I put to them. So also saved me terrible having this written every time. I needed to go the wandering or a brand quit. When I talk about using sport delivery to sell, you might think I am ordering price. That's sure enough I prove myself on the giving the best deals around I have the required but I will not say it again. And also because business comparisons price accounts nearly impossible for the customer because of the tremendous range of the difference between models and options. There are even some colors that cost more than others. The point is that almost no two cars that come out in the factory have the extremely same price. It's possible to have two identical cars, but it's almost never happens in the same case area the same time. What that means is that it's a customer who has bring shopping around comes in to see me with the price. The price is quite him can almost never for exactly the same car. So there is confusion, is there is loyalty. I don't try to continue him. I don't have to I quit him price mouse lawyer. It will be a couple of reasons. Either it's a car have a with may vary similar cost of less or I am willing to make less on the car and I sell him or both. The fact is that because I sell so many cars, I can afford to make less or is on. A lot of salesmen shoot for highest profit per cars because they don't know what I know about building a big flow of products. They don't understand then if you have 10 or 12 people coming in every day asking for you, can you make a lot of more money by giving the better deals than if you see only 2 or 3 a day? There are times when I could not close a customer and I will tell him to get out and shop to other deals, and I will tell him I think I can't beat their price by 1000. Will that many string it a little? But I did not say to guy to sell a well. I will let him out because I know it's going to come back. When he does, he has to tell the prices and he has get the other dealers. Otherwise, I tell him I don't know how to cooperate. Once I know the prices as a gate from others, I can either beat them or not. It's a very unlucky that I can chip 1000 USD of his lowest bid. Once in a while customer adjust my two very high squads. Maybe too high because the salesman worry greedy and throughout they hit a mark. But usually I can come in 50 or 100 under his lowest bid. The guy hears my price and says, but you told me you could quote me 1000 lays and all give me 100 lays. Well, I'm quoting on the car with extra equipment. I point that him or may say, look, I don't know you were such a good shipper. You get the two lowest prices and to town already. I just can't any more than I have. And that's probably true. Okay, I told him 1000 that bought him back. Now I am quoting just 100 off. And I am going to lose him. Probably not. I flirted him by telling him how good a shipper he was. And besides, there is this old sense proof in the 100 is 100. And I will get him for that. The magic words. What the customer went to her in my magic words. I got you the deal bait, and in such case the almost every person who is shop around the first. I can make those words good. I carefully went every single time because I went to sell a car. Even its cars commission a little. After all, small prices is something is better than a big price of nothing. And the numbers are good of my business in make worthwhile beat somebody else's price legitimately as often I can. Earning money makes me very happy. Saving money makes the customer happy. And I beat the customer, I beat the price, everybody is happy. Something's getting the price down if not just a matter of cutting the margin of the my commission by a few more dollars. Something it's order quite a low price. I have made the total the customer out something optional like a bigger enough. What do you want a gas burner like that for? Or a certain rare Alex retail I have saved the no more than 1 USD year on gas. On air conditioning are lost about the 50 every time you need it because how many days does it really get that hot around here? But whatever I do to sell a customer, he knows that skirt deal. When he leaves the car, nobody has ever across the many commissioning the what is sell. Nobody ever lived amongst the currents the deal from the what remains bought something, then the gate, the replication, and the what is must for me to that. And that's the true most the salesman I ever known this business no matter what people say. Something sometimes salesmen are tempted to play games with the customer on financing and payments. It's the worst thing you can do, but it's not hurt those days. For a lot of customer, the problem to total prices is secondary to the question. How much a month? Okay, now just think of how you can work. A customer wants a certain model. The salesman since that the man does not care about anything but monthly payments. So instead of the trying to sell a car we really can afford, he loads up with the extras when it customer sitting up the car loan. The customer says doesn't don't like to play about what he did last time, maybe 300 a month. The salesman says I'll get the clothes, and when the payment book arrives from the bank later, the monthly payment are 450. As the customer signed up the bring the trusted the salesman. He is a travel, but it's a salesman because he has heard person very boldly in the paycheck for maybe 3 or even 4 years. Nobody buys only the car his life, but that salesman will sell that customer only owns, and he will be hard mounted or to 250 other people. I don't want that to be happen to me. That's why when they have to make their deal with me, my customer always knows exactly what they bought for how much a month for how many months. Sometimes a salesman will give a customer the payments he asks for but make it for his years instead of two. If the customer knows the what he getting when he signs, that's fair. But it's a him to him in face the for first time only when he gets the first payment book for the bank. Then the salesman has hurt him. I am not saying there anything wrong with the treating a customer up. I don't tell if there is something I will customer at home after the has made deals trying to sell him some extra that's might wants to care such a better ratio in the strict hole the better of seats in the trains. But will know how it's getting and the says no, it's a no. As for payments, I may tell a customer that what he wants is going cost more, and he the wants play of the over the same period of the last car. He may have to refigure his birth and give him something because the premiums are going to be more. Or maybe once the sum premiums, the team of the loan will run another 6 months of a or a year. That's a part of selling. If the man can handle it, I don't want him to take it because I don't want him man to have a car responded. For then I have lost him and his friends and relatives forever, and I can't afford that. However, the good you are at presenting the customer to buy more, be sure he knows what he has agreed to before it's too late. Otherwise, he knows how the made a sell, and not only have you hurt yourself by hunting a customer, you have also hurt me because on it the repetition hurts us all. So don't fool up to the nest with cheap tricks. Remember that nobody, not even me, sell everybody you don't have the twist anybody. Armed to tell lies to make a good living is that selling businesses. All you have to do is your head to plant your seeds and fill enough seeds. You have to it right, you will able to make a fine income and live with your conscience, and I am proud of that it can be done. Closing. If he comes that far, he wants to buy, never forget that, and you will win a lot. Thanks for listening.